I've been very excited to come back to Asheville. Mainly because, I'll be honest with you, all right? This is as a visitor, this is outside looking in, I'm telling you. Y'all's food has no business being as good as it is. This is crazy. I live in New York and I'll meet people who are from Asheville and they'll tell you which 9 places to go. And usually when someone gives you a list of places to go and the list is longer than you could possibly visit, they're like, okay, here's 9 things, but these 3 are what you really want to make sure you don't miss. The others are really good, but these 3 are the best. Don't let yourself miss out. And I went to ask my friend, we got 9 recommendations, and I was like, so which are like the top 3? And they were like, top. I gave you 9 because you should go to 9. Like, I'm only here for a day. How am I going to make it to 9 places? They're like, you need to make time is what you need to do. Y'all have a thing here where because the food is so good and some people aren't expecting it, you know, you get people who just involuntary. You know, you're at a restaurant, you're enjoying your food. It's good food, but you're used to good food. And then you hear someone else who's, I guess, used to gruel. Because they taste the food and they're like, oh. And those sort of sounds, I think they're meant to be involuntary. You know, it's kind of like a laugh. It's like if you try to force a laugh, you look insane. But if somebody makes you laugh and it's genuine, it's organic, you can feel it, it's a beautiful thing. When someone cooks something so good that it makes you just go like, wow. You can tell a difference when somebody's cooked something nasty and you try to keep up appearances because these are like your new in-laws or whatever, and you don't want to make a bad impression even though you didn't cook it, you know what I mean? But you want to be polite, and so you try it and you're like, oh, like you can't even remember how to do a decent one. The impression of a is so bad when it's not good. Oh, yeah. Oh, I've tried to fake an before. I did. I was at a friend's place and I hadn't seen her in a while, and then she was cooking. So when she cooked, I was like, that's nice that someone would make me a meal. I'm gonna at least try it. It was okay. She had made these like barbecue pork chops, but then had put them into like her own version of a pad thai. Thank you. There's a time to experiment, and then there's a time to be regular. Like, master being regular before you go off into your own realm of foods that don't exist like that. Like, she didn't try to recreate like an actual Chinese dish or something like that. This was just something, she was like, yeah, I just threw something together. And it's like, don't ever throw again. You need to be pitching underhanded the way that you, this is crazy. Okay, so, the plate had 3 pork chops on it, and it had, you know, the noodles and some veggies and stuff, and the sauce was great. But this is the thing, a lot of people like to hide behind sauce. All right, there's a lot of culinary cowards out there terrified of their own cooking, so they're like, let's lather it in sauce, let's basically make it crunchy or chewy sauce. And so she had the sauce in there, and I don't know how she did it. I don't know what happened. But one of those pork chops was raw. And this is the magic trick of it. I watched them be on the grill. I watched it happen. I watched her put all 3. I watched her flip all 3. I watched her take all 3 and put them on the plate. And then one of them just protested. One of them was like, no, being murdered was bad enough. I will not be cooked. And what do? I got this plate of food in front of me, and you know, if you go to somebody's place, and you're like, oh, I just ate. I just ate. Now that gets you out of a little bit of trouble. You still gotta taste it, whatever it is, but no one expects you to finish it. You just ate. And then if they ask you what you ate, you come up with like 4 or 5 dishes. Show them you have no room in your stomach. But I had said I ate before I got there, which was true. I was never gonna finish this whole plate, but I bit into the first pork chop, and it was halfway decent. It was a little tough. It took more chewing than felt comfortable or right. It didn't feel like eating so much as training my jaw. It felt like one of the only things missing from those Rocky montages. Like it should, he need to run up the stairs, he need to punch the meat, but then he need to chew this. And then he'll be able to take on that Russian one that gave him so much trouble, gave him all the brain damage. You remember Rocky IV. And I was like, in my head, I'm like, I gotta bite each one of these, because then that looks the messiest, and then that looks like I at least gave it a fair shot. Also, taking a bite out of each one ensures she'll never do this to anybody ever again, because she can't repurpose it as leftovers. Because the only thing worse than nasty food is nasty leftovers. That means that somebody saw what they cooked and decided it wasn't a war crime, and then put it in a refrigerator and then microwaved it. Because you know how bad food's always better after being in the microwave. And so I went to take a bite of the second one, and it was somehow just as chewy as the first one. But that second one was, you could tell, I was like, man, this is gonna be the thing that takes me out. This is raw meat. This is raw meat with sauce. I don't know how she did it to me, but she really gonna kill me. This is an op. And so then I took a bite of the third one. And the third one actually, wow, Goldilocks, because that one was not bad. That one, and maybe it took less chewing, or maybe my jaw had just been conditioned to the point where this third one was like easy money, because I was used to eating raw pork chop and eating tough pork chop. Said all that to say that she had the nerve. She had, okay. She's a good person, but she had the wherewithal, which is insane. She had the wherewithal to ask me how it was, even though she could see my eyes, because I was giving it away. I was tearing up. I was eating raw meat to be polite to you, my friend. You know, I'm not doing what I want to do. What I want to do is, why would you do this to me? Why would you, after the first bite, why would you do this to me? I thought we had a real friendship. Why would you try? Who put you up to it? But I was like, she's like, how is it? I was like, already my eyes are too wide for me to lie. How is it? You see how it's not believable? Well, it's nice to be here under what should be pretty good circumstances. It seems like, we've heard this before, we've heard it many times, so we don't know, but it seems like, but we have no full proof, but it seems like, but it seemed like a few times, but we're almost sure this time. It's been on the news a bunch now, so it should be true, but also that doesn't mean anything. And so this time it should be for good, but also it gets said that it's for good every 2 days. But we are almost certain now, because everybody flew and everybody signed the thing, that the war is over. Yeah. That, I really want to believe it. I want to believe it so bad. They even flew to Versailles and signed it at Versailles. I didn't know Versailles had special powers like that, that like, if it happened in Versailles, it's gotta be true. But they even flew to sign it. And when he was walking out, even Trump was like, they signed it. No takesies, backsies, they signed it. You know, I'm thankful. I'm thankful that The war as we know it is over. Remember the war that wasn't a war? We went to a lot of trouble signing a whole peace deal for something that wasn't a war. And it's not technically it's a peace deal, but technically it's just like memorandum of understanding, which basically means like, all right, I'll stop if you stop. All right, but if you stop, stop. I won't do anything if you don't do anything. Okay. It's a lot like that moment. This entire war feels like a bar that I went to one time where I sat down, and I don't drink. I do shows at bars, but I don't drink, so I'm just there very aware. And let me tell you, it doesn't feel great all the time. You know, there's nothing like, at least if I drank and then I had a bad set, I'd be like, I think it went okay. You know, but no, be it stone cold sober, you're like, they didn't like me. And I remember I was doing this show, I got done, I'm waiting for my friends to finish too, because my friends also went up at the show, and so I'm watching them in the background, and in the back, these two dudes started fighting. And they were two dudes that nobody wanted to see fight, because one, I don't like to just see people fight out of nowhere. If a fight is already happening, I will be nosy, yes. But if it's just like two people talking to each other and then like things get violent, I don't want to see anybody get hurt. But especially these two dudes. You did not want to see these two dudes fight because neither one of them looked fit. Like this is about to be a very sloppy fight. This is about to be devastating. Because they both had that thing where they've been thinking about fighting for a long time. And then they finally met each other. So then they get to fighting. And when I tell you that two people who don't know each other but were so perfectly made for this moment got winded at the same time, both these men lasted about 6 punches before they were like, one dude, first of all, they had no distance management at all, so they were missing a lot. It actually took a while for either one of them to connect at all. Their first few swings were all missing. What dude, okay. He went to kick this dude, right? And he even took a stance. And when somebody takes a stance like that, in your mind you think, uh-oh, this person knows how to fight. This person trains. Both of them were like middle-aged men, and both of them were not fit. And so it never occurred to me that if somebody takes a stance, maybe you're like, whoa, this guy trains. Or new options after I saw this, wow, this guy used to train. This guy has seen a bunch of movies, so he knows exactly how to stand like the dude in the movie. But that's where the relationship between what happened in the movie and what's about to happen completely ends. Because this dude took a stance, right? And then he went in for the kick, and he even kicked right. Like he even kicked, and the follow through looked good and everything. The way he gave himself away is that he made the noise. He made the noise early. You don't need the noise, by the way. That's how you can tell when somebody doesn't fight. You don't need the noise. You actually don't. That thing is an old. You don't. That's not real. Nobody's actually doing that. The only people that do that are in the movie, and the only people that do that in real life are copying the movie. Like, that's not, okay, so this is a piece of film lore that I have been told. I don't know how true it is, but basically way back in the day, when we're talking like some of those early big mainstream kung fu movies, like Bruce Lee, right? Bruce Lee was doing these scenes, but he was doing them with like real technique, and because he really knew how to fight, he was over here, that is real. Like, when you hear somebody, that they're boxing you up. That's all you're gonna hear. You're gonna hear them whispering a beat down, right? So if somebody's boxing, like, that's a real thing. But then because he's so quiet and because the moves are like so unfamiliar to the audience, the director was like, hey, you're gonna have to give us something else so we understand something's about to happen. Like, we don't even know that's your power shot because it's so fast, and you're just like, and then it's over. And then I don't know if they told Bruce Lee to do it or if it was Bruce Lee's idea to do it, but he was like, Kia! Like that, like that's not a real thing. And also, he even when he did in the movie, he did it while he was doing the thing. Kia! You know what I mean? Like, Kia! You know, this dude just did a whole Kia! But like hadn't moved yet. What are you doing right now? Like that, you missed it. You hit key and you missed ya. What's happening? So then the dude went to kick the dude, and he was like, Kia! And then kicked later. I thought I was having a stroke. I was like, surely this man didn't make the whole noise and then move. There's no way. This man went, Kia! And then he went to kick, and he kicked right, but he just completely missed. This man spun in a circle and landed right back where he was and looked dizzy. How dare you kick in public like that and just do a pirouette? Like, the man, Kia! No, it's insane. And then dude realized this is an opportunity. This man got himself all confused. He spun in a circle. He's dizzy. The room is spinning. This is where I take my opportunity. So then he geared up. But like even the way he was trying to throw this uppercut doesn't make any sense. He tried to throw. He tried to throw the uppercut like a cartoon because rather than just being here and then punching up, this man had. This man had his fist up here and was really gonna make a whole U-turn up. This dude went, and then he swung, and then he missed, and then he hit the wall. This man punched the wall so hard, he had to have busted something. He punched the wall so hard, and then he did a thing that like we all do at some point. I don't know what this is. I used to think I was alone until I saw him do this thing. He punched the wall instead of the guy he was trying to punch, and then immediately he just put his fist in his armpit. Why do we do that? Like that's a crazy thing to do. That doesn't heal anything. It's like I need to hide it real quick because if light doesn't touch it, it'll heal fast. I only broke 3 knuckles. And then this dude sees, right? He sees that this guy is like holding his fist in his armpit. And so he decides this is his chance for another kick. But he learned his lesson. He didn't go for that like mid-height kick again. This man went for a low kick. He was gonna kick him in his calf, really take away his mobility, right? And so he went to kick him in his calf, and he really reared back too. This man reared back like fully. He hit the full kick, right? And then something must have gone wrong because right about here he went, ah! And so right about here he went, ah! And then I know his back locked up because he didn't move. He didn't look like a balanced guy. So that's just frozen. That's just you locked in, right? Ah, ah, ah! So you had my man right here, and you had the other man, and I didn't know it at the time, but I was basically looking at what the US-Iran war would look like. Because to a degree, I understand what some people are saying. They're like, this has been an embarrassment on the part of our tactics in war. The fact that we have all of these bases, all of this money, all of these resources, and Iran fought us off with some like drones you could get at Target with some bombs strapped to them. And I don't know, obviously, the easy thing to do, the easy thing to say is just that you want peace. It's a human thing to do. I just want peace. I just want everybody to get along. And sometimes you run into the unfortunate truth of that is just not the world we currently live in. It is delusional to be like, oh yeah, everything is going on, yeah, but just like throw some peace on top of that. And it's like, what is happening is why we don't have peace. And so you get this deal. This deal, by the way, which comes from us needing a deal after we attacked them again. We had already hit them before. We already, like every time Trump's been president, we've hit them a little bit. And then we went in because we were feeling ourselves after Venezuela. You remember Venezuela, that sovereign nation where we went and got their president on a random day? Everybody was confused. World leaders were confused. He was confused. He over here sitting in jail like... And I'm not saying, look, I'm not saying on his own, through his own actions, in a different timeline of justice, that he doesn't deserve jail. But just the way that we did it, I'm sure felt weird. Do you know what I mean? The way that we were like, yeah, let's go get him. He's a terrible criminal. And then we did, and then the people of Venezuela were like, all right, so, thanks, I guess, but what's the plan now? And we were like, oh, y'all figure it out. We just grabbed him. But then we needed a new plan. We needed something because we tore up the old plan. You know, Obama's Iran deal. Trump pulled us out of Obama's Iran deal because he was like, I can get a better, we don't even need to do this deal. I can get a better deal. I can get a better deal. I'm a deal maker. Look, y'all don't even know who you're talking to. I can get, as far as deals go, you wouldn't even believe. Have you read the book? Because I did it. I'm the Picasso of deals. I'm a dealer. I'm surprised I don't work at one of my own casinos. I deal so hard. I'm going crazy right now off of deals. I got deals like y'all. That's y'all's problem is y'all don't understand what a deal is. You know, we're in a deal right now. You didn't even know. I'm just that good. See, look, watch a master work. All right, sick of y'all doubting me. And plenty of people, you know, not across the aisle as in an equivalent number, but plenty of people, no matter their like political party, were like, okay, but what is your plan? What is your deal? And he's like, I'll get to it. And then they were like, well, you already tore it up, so you better come up with one quick. And he was like, no, I'm sure it'll be fine. And He didn't have a better deal, but he believed he could get one. He was mad too whenever people brought up Obama's deal, because he had to tear up Obama's deal just to get us in this situation. And so everyone reminds him of Obama's deal, so he's living under the shadow of Obama's deal. It makes him very mad. Yeah, it just feels like something he did for his own ego, because he didn't like that Obama got a deal. He didn't like that Obama got something that he didn't have. It's like why he's been so obsessed with Nobel Peace Prize. He can't stand that people look back at Obama as like a great president, and it takes a toll on him. It's wild to me. He clearly thinks about Obama so much. He thinks about Obama more than I think about Obama. You have to understand that this man hates Obama so much that he thinks about him more than someone who was like, oh, that's the first black president. He thinks about him way more than I think about Obama. It's wild. Like, okay, a good example. Okay, do this for me real quick. Every single one of you in here, close your eyes, close your eyes, close your eyes, close your eyes, close your eyes. Some people are still peeking. Close your eyes. Everybody close your eyes. Okay, so when you close your eyes, it is black, and Trump hates that. Like, he hates that. He hates that so much, right? And I think that, like, obviously we're normal people. We're normal people. So when we close our eyes, we see regular black. But I think when Trump closes his eyes, he sees Obama. Like, he he must see Obama every time he closes his eyes, which must be why he's so upset all the time, because he's sleeping so much. He sleeps more than he's supposed to be sleeping. There's an 8 hours in the day where you're supposed to see Obama, right? And then there's extra time as you get older. You need more naps, so you see Obama more often. But like, he's so mad that he sees Obama so much, and he's like, I can't let him have anything. It's insane. It's genuinely insane. And anyway, he pulled out of the deal because he was like, that's Obama's deal. I refuse to be a president under any deal made by Obama. I'm going to roll back all of his policies. I'm going to roll back all of his progress. As much of it as I can get away with, especially if I have Congress on my side, I'm going to roll back as much as possible. So I'm going to pull myself out of this deal. So he pulls out of the deal. And people are like, what are you doing? And he's like, you don't think I can get a better deal? You don't think I can get a better deal than Barack? You don't think I can get, you don't even know who you're talking to. You don't think I can get a better deal than Barack Hussein? You know we love capitalizing that Hussein. That's his favorite thing to do. You don't think I can get a better deal than Barack Hussein Obama? Come on now, I'm Trump. And then people in his cabinet were like, we know. We know, which is why we're asking. What is the plan? Why do you think you could get a better deal? Do you have a better relationship with the Supreme Leader? Do you have like a better, forward view of how you're gonna progress relations? And Trump was like, I'm white! You don't think I can do it? I'm white! And then here we are on the verge of a deal that was kind of hard to believe we got. I don't know, I think, but maybe not. He said it was over like 16 times. I think Trump's approach to war is like my approach to war. If I was president and we were at war, I'd be like, today too? We gotta do the war every day? Y'all need to chill. That's exhausting. Because he's been trying to end it because the war is not popular. The war is causing us pain here at home as Americans. It's also putting our military, our service men and women in danger. And it's not putting them, this is the other thing, because you can talk about every conflict the U.S. has been in and go over the merits of engaging or not, or what the plan even was, what we told the public versus what was actually done, what the actual missions were, right? But I don't think that in my adult life we've seen something so quickly and so blatantly be pointless in our faces. Like, there are a lot of people that have a lot of different theories, and some people are even saying that it's because things with Venezuela had so little consequence on the world stage, because we went over there and grabbed Venezuela's president and kind of just like went about business as usual. That's a wild thing. Like, that was their president. That was do you know what I mean? I don't know if you ever worked at like a grocery store or something, but imagine somebody kidnapped the district manager. And then it's just like, as you were. Like, it's... I think he's supposed to be here for us to be as we were. That man's so confused because right before we went and grabbed him, he was offering up deals left and right. He was like, look, I'll do anything. Just don't come get me. And they were like, oh, it's breaking up. We can't hear you. They were on the way to go get him. That dude literally was like, I'll give you all the oil. I'll leave. I won't even be Venezuelan anymore if it means you won't come get me. And they were like, oh yeah, we can't. I think he's right in the other room. We can't hear you. Can you check for a better signal? Can you maybe lean towards the window? Grab him. And that thing sort of went without real consequence. Like our allies were upset. A lot of the nations of the UN were shocked, but it was also like, what were they really gonna do about it, I think was the sentiment. And then on top of it, you don't have a figure that has a sort of like love of the people. You know, you're talking about Maduro, so it's kind of like, oh yeah, y'all can go grab him. Like that was in the mind, I think, of a lot of people, because I have friends who were educating me on the whole thing. I really didn't know about it, and they were like, yeah, Maduro was so terrible that, yeah, sometimes the enemy and my enemy sort of thing. Like they were like, yeah, go ahead and get Maduro out, but also we will need a president, just so like y'all can't just grab the president and then be like, figure it out for yourselves. And so then we entered into this whole thing with Iran that was at first not a war. Remember when it wasn't a war? Remember when it was like a conflict? It was like conflict, and then it was a skirmish, and then it was an excursion. Excursion is, y'all, that's wild. Excursion's a cruise. That's a cruise. Y'all cannot say excursion for war. That's insane. You gonna have me thinking you had a totally different weekend. You tell me about excursions. If you told me you just got back from an excursion, I'd be like, yeah, you look tan. Like I can see it. No, I've been looking forward to an excursion myself. You know, I need a little break. I can go excurse. And then there was a deal, but then there wasn't a deal. But then there was. But then there wasn't. But then there was no need for a deal because we weren't at war. And then we were winning the war. Never forget we were winning. Did you feel like we were winning when we were winning? Or did you just feel sort of confused? And the entire time, you know, I was sitting there wondering. I was like, how do you get yourself out of this one? This isn't Venezuela. You're talking about a country with like 90 million people. You're also talking about a country that's far more advanced and sophisticated in military operations and its understanding of us than Venezuela was at the time. And so what do you do? What do you do? Because then every time you come out and say something, Iran also comes out and says what you're saying isn't true, but you need them to at least be quiet to calm people down for them to believe you. Because like he would come out and be like, hey, we had a great talk today. We had a real good talk, and I think things are gonna wrap up soon. And then Iran would tweet like I've never seen. I don't even really know what account it was, but Iran would just tweet, like it wasn't at Iran. It was like a couple different accounts that were like privy to the information were like, nobody's talked to us today, so I don't know who he's talking to. You must feel so gaslit as Iran to be watching our news, and then he's like, yeah, we almost got this thing wrapped up. I got them right where I want them. And then everyone in the room is like, who we been talking to? No, it's wild. Because then he would be talking like extra reckless about what he was going to do next. But then it wouldn't happen. And so what do you do with that? Like we all carried this weight. I'll never forget that Tuesday that he was like, tonight a civilization is going to be, woo, what? What, with your thumbs? That's quite, somebody's gonna put in a history book that the president was like, tonight I'm killing everybody. And then look, then thank God, like I'm being genuine, it didn't happen. And that's not to say that these strikes, that these attacks, there aren't people killed. I'm just saying that thing didn't happen. And so now you have this 14-point deal where Iran promises to do a bunch of stuff that it seems like they already weren't doing that much. And then we give them a bunch of stuff that seems pretty good for them. And it's just sort of wild. Like, if you can just bear with me for a second. It is why I've been growing up and living here my entire life. I have watched politicians come and go. I've watched rhetoric change, policies change. And I don't pretend to know everything about foreign policy, about diplomacy, or about international laws. I find it like breathtakingly astounding that today of all day, like when in the history, they're going to point to today, because I think that only with distance can you understand the irony. It's got me like shaking how from the inception, the idea of an America all the way to present, with us being a superpower the world over, and with us saying that everything we do, we must do, and everything that we don't do, we can't do, or we can't do yet. It is mind-boggling that on Juneteenth, Iran is getting reparations. Like, just... like... Y'all know what day it is. That's what's Juneteenth. And look, I want everyone to do well, okay? Wow. I thought we couldn't afford it. I thought we couldn't afford, and I'm not even, look, this is the thing. I'm not even talking about like me personally. I'm like, ooh, that should be my money or anything like that. I'm not saying that at all. I'm just thinking to myself, like, the natives didn't get a deal cut this quick, this way. Like, that's up until now, every time someone demanded restitution for something that the United States had done to them on our soil or abroad, we've been like, yeah, I hate it for you. Ooh, maybe in 50 years? Well, I'll be dead in 50 years and this will be more complicated. That is the point. Breaking off. And look, don't get me wrong, I understand that Iran is not getting a $300 billion check, but all the systems in place and all the planning is going to be to give them about $300 billion in essentially restitution, lifting sanctions. And I don't understand business. I clearly don't understand politics that well. But I think, if I'm being honest, as black people, we really just need to find what our Strait of Hormuz is. Do you know what I mean? Like, I think the only way we're gonna get our reparations if we just Strait of Hormuz the US. Iran already gave us the playbook. Just be like, look, listen. The black delegation has met and we've decided that until we are properly compensated for centuries of injustice and forced labor, no more music. How about that? How about no more music? No more music at all. We won't even be humming, okay? You won't even get no. That's done too. You won't even get a passing tune. It's all on you now. Go ahead. Let me see. Go ahead. Play the guitar dry. Play it. Make that guitar sound ashy. I want you to. What will it be? What will it take? You know what? Until we've been reconciled with by the U.S. government, we're gonna boil the chicken too. We're gonna boil it. Yeah, no, I'm talking just straight boil, like just hot water. Yeah, no. When we cut our chicken, you will see veins, okay? Yeah. No, we were shielding y'all for too long. The chicken is an animal. Some of y'all didn't even know that. Some of y'all had your chicken fried up, baked up, roasted up so good you think it's just chicken. No, it used to be something. Yeah, that's it. No more seasoning anything but crab. I mean, you gotta season the crab. That's just, do you know what I mean? Like, legally, yeah. But like, no more. No, that's it. You had your last little bit. And then the U.S. will do what it did to Iran. The U.S. will be like, we don't even need... We don't even need you think you're so important. We don't even need you, though. We don't even need you like that. Go ahead, keep your music. No, keep it. I don't even want it. Yeah, I like being alone with my thoughts anyway. No, sometimes I just like just sitting and thinking anyway. We don't need your music. And let like a couple weeks pass. Because this is the thing, we work on reserves. One of the things the U.S. is really good at doing, especially when it commodifies something, is it's good at having a cushion. There's a cushion so you don't feel the pain right away. You know, oil prices can fluctuate. Goods can take a while to ship. You even saw it in COVID. You have supply chain issues, but you have this buffer. You have this like 3 months sometimes where a business stays completely normal, even though the world is falling apart. I'm sure they try to do the same thing. They'd hold out for a while. And then after like a couple months, the U.S. would approach the black delegation and be like, hey, look, okay, listen, all right, I understand you're upset, and we're working on terms, we don't have them yet, but my daughter does have a wedding. No, look, my daughter has a wedding, and please, I only got one daughter, she only gets married once, can you please, no, y'all gonna have to clap. You're gonna have to clap, stomp, whatever. And the U.S. will be like, we tried. We tried, it doesn't work when you're not there. We keep clapping on the 1 and the 4 and the 7. Every time my nephew tries to beatbox, it just sounds like applause and spit. Please. Nah, we're holding strong. You don't get any more. You didn't appreciate what you had. Remember, the strait was open. The strait was open before any of this. It's like, it's like slapping somebody that forgot they had a gun on them. The strait was open. And then you did this, and then they closed it. And then they're like, okay, you know what, fine, we don't need you anyway. We don't need you, ain't nobody worried about you. And then they go off. 4 months pass. And come back, and they're like, oh. Look. We don't have a deal yet. We don't have a deal in place, but these are extenuating circumstances. And we do need somebody to sing because my grandmama died. All right. Grandmama died. Can you please just come sing, give it some soul. Just give it some, make us feel like she went to heaven. Like just, please. No. No. Then maybe, who knows? Maybe one day they come back and they're like, look, okay, we did have an extra $300 billion we didn't tell you about. Please, I can't eat any more boiled meat. It's stuck. It's stuck. I've been constipated for 2 months. I think I'm gonna die soon. Please. Yeah. And I'll even say this. I think that now we're in this stage where he has become the president that he said Biden was. Where like, it's weird, okay? It's weird because like, he was like, hey, Biden doesn't even know where he is half the day. And like, they shuffle him from room to room and then you never see him and you're like, where is he? Does he know where he is? Whatever. And I don't know. I mean, the way he been looking and act like, I could easily see them sitting him in a room with a phone and being like, yeah, it's Iran. And then he's just on the phone all day. Because we know he can talk. He can go. He can go. Yeah, he's on the phone the whole day. Yeah, it's Iran. They want to talk to you. He's talking to Iran. That must be what he's talking about at the press conference. Like, we had a great conversation today with Iran. Everybody was there. Iran came. I talked to Abraham Lincoln. He said I was doing a great job. Yeah. Meanwhile, Iran is like, okay, so he wasn't talking to any of us. I don't know. It's crazy. Who would have thought that we would be attacking this country and then they would be sending back to us Lego movies. Like, just wildly, atrociously accurate Lego movie. What? Because you would want to celebrate if the war were really over. When something is over after a long time, and you didn't even know it would be possible, you're so overjoyed. You're so swept up in the celebration that you can like lose yourself in it, and you jump into the streets and you're celebrating with other people because everyone is so happy. Like, I think Trump wants us to celebrate the war being over the way New York celebrated the Knicks. Because at least with the Knicks, we knew that happened. Do you know what I mean? With the Knicks, we're like, yeah, we watched that. No, we know it's over now. This is great. Admittedly, I couldn't make it to the parade. I'm not that big of a man, and I wasn't ready to be trampled. You know what I mean? It's hard to cheer when somebody's stepping on your back. Oh, it was incredible. I remember the night the Knicks won. Okay, so the night they won, I wasn't in New York. I was in Canada, and so I was safe. No, because New York was wild. New York was, you had people, I've never seen people climb that many traffic lights. It takes a level of strength and skill to climb a traffic light, because last time I checked, the traffic light not built for climbing. It's kind of straightforward, up and across. I saw a dude doing pull-ups on a traffic light. You know how high stakes those pull-ups are? Oh, people were celebrating. There was a couple of, here's the thing. I understand some of the celebrations because it's just, you're just overwhelmed with joy. There was one person, there were people watching the game on the train, and so when they won, people on the train were losing their minds, and one woman just burst out in the song and had a amazing voice, right? And those are the type of moments that you look back on, you're like, this is just so beautiful. And then there's whatever the group wants to do to a bus. I don't know why it is that whenever a team wins, we gotta wreck a bus. And some of the buses didn't make sense. Here's the thing. If you run out of an arena and there's a bus right there and a bunch of people push it and then it moves a little, it's like, wow, we can do anything together. And then you push again and it moves a little more. And then a couple people join because they're like, oh, they need help. And then you push again. And then you push it so hard that it actually bounces and it teeters back towards you. And that part's scary. But then you push again a little bit harder. And then it tips over. And you're like, yay! You're so overjoyed. You're like, yeah, wow, we knocked over the bus. Never mind, it's your bus home. This is still New York. You take the bus home. That was your bus. I don't know if you saw. It went like semi-viral. They had the parade, where the Knicks went to City Hall and everything, and everybody's in the streets, and it's early too. That's a tough parade to make because it starts at like 10 or whatever. It's like morning and people are just hammered. And then there was this altercation on a traffic light where this woman had climbed onto the light, and then there was a woman underneath her. I guess she was trying to take a picture. And I don't really know who said what to who, because you can't hear anything because it's so loud, but you see them like going back and forth at each other. And so the woman up here is like talking, and then the woman looking up at her is like talking, and then she, does that. And I don't really know when they had a problem with each other, because that's also just how New Yorkers talk to each other sometimes. It's like sometimes a perfectly normal conversation is like, what's wrong with you? But then the woman who was up higher tries to get down. And as she's trying to get down, a lot of people didn't see us at first. There's like 11 angles of this thing. But a lot of people didn't see it. So she tried to get down, and then the woman who was sitting there trying to take a picture pushes her foot, which could have made her fall. And so then the woman climbing down grabs her shirt and just sort of throws her like off the light pole with an ease that was eerie. She threw her so efficiently and quickly. As soon as she put her hand over there, she was over there. She threw her perfectly. And so then that woman falls to the ground and everything, and then that woman immediately gets up and is trying to pull. She pulls at the pants of the woman that was still on the light pole, and pulls and stretches. And it's crazy because the woman's pants stretched so far. And so then she was punching the woman on the butt. She clearly didn't have a plan here. This is an insane thing to do. She grabbed the pants and just punch, but she's just punching the butt. She's just punching the butt over and over again. And so then this woman who's getting her butt punched just starts twerking. She just starts... starts twerking to let her know like she's not even bothered by it. Like she doesn't care that it's happening. And so she just punch it, and like you can tell the punches don't hurt because I can't hear the video. Once again, you still can't hear, but she's punching like she goes, like it's just. And then finally, the woman keeps twerking, but then does a twerking split across the barricade, still holding on to the light pole, and then she decides to get down and piece up the woman who was punching her on the butt. And I think that's actually a more accurate illustration of the U.S.-Iran war. Because I do think, I'm starting to think that the Lego videos were Iran twerking in our face.
Mira,